And I'm gonna mute everybody out, and we're gonna start this call. It looks like everybody's muted except Amber, which is awesome. Okay. I want to welcome everybody today to our, I want to say it's like our 8th or 9th one now of our Jewels from our Jewels. I'm really excited. I'm getting more and more every week that want to get on the schedule. So we're scheduled out like 2 months now. So it's really exciting. I know. And Amber, I'm really excited about having Amber today because she is my upline, my 3 lines up, I think. And I just am so proud of her. She is an amazing leader. She's very knowledgeable in the product. So I'm not going to really say anything more, except I just want to introduce Amber right now and welcome to our Zoom.
Thank you.
Hi, Amber.
Thank you, Cindy. It's so fun to be on here and to see your face and just all the history. When you said you're 3 levels down, it's under all of the family, me, mom, dad.
No.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. So I guess you told me just to share what was on my heart today and didn't really give me much direction. So I was trying to think,
I don't do that.
Well, I thought I'd share a little bit of my story and then go more into the leadership side of it because I know that this is gold and above. So my story really started when I was 23. I just took the product to be nice to a friend. Most of you guys have probably already heard that. But I was floored with the results. All of my seasonal issues and my suffering and being housebound and not being able to go outside completely disappeared, which was huge when you have a 15-month-old. So it was, drastic changes for me. But, being really naive and not having any idea what network marketing was and all that kind of stuff, I did not know what I was getting into, which I think was probably a good thing. I started sharing it with some friends and just like, this is great. Someone told me I could make $100 a month if I had a couple customers. So I just really started sharing with people I loved, and they loved it. And it really I was getting that $100, $200 check, and it was great. And I shared with my mom, and my mom went to town with Plexus. You guys all know her story. First, she said she wasn't going to try it. Probably wasn't healthy. It was one of those network marketing things. And she was, oh, honey, someone got ya. That was kind of her attitude about it. And then when she finally did try it and finally looked at it, she was floored with the product. My dad got amazing results. She got amazing results. She realized she's a smart businesswoman, and she realized what she had on her hands. And so she took it to California. I'm in Tennessee. She was visiting me. She took it to California and ran with it and started sharing with everybody. And Cindy can attest to that, and that she couldn't hold herself back. When you have something so amazing, you can't hold yourself back. But on the other hand, I had some people after the first couple months start shooting me down. I had the customer who didn't like the products. I had someone who told me that's a scam and mock me and make fun of me. And like I said, I was 23. I had no experience. So it really just shut me down completely from sharing. I feared the rejection. Can you guys still hear me okay?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I feared the rejection. I couldn't handle it. So I just stopped sharing. And I complained to my mom a lot, as daughters do. I complained to her a lot. And finally, I was visiting her in California. This was 2 years ago now.
I remember.
Do you remember? She told me, I'm going to wash your mouth out with soap if you say one more time that these products don't work for people, or if you're negative one more time. And my mom means it. She handed me basically a stack of articles, and she was like, read all of this and then tell me what you think. And it was health articles. It was about insulin and blood sugar and gut health and how our body responds and how our body works. And not everybody needs that, but I needed that boost in confidence to be able to know what the products were doing in someone's body, so that when a customer told me, oh, I haven't lost weight in 2 weeks and I don't see a difference, I was able to be educated in helping them see what's going on. or just kind of brush it off. It doesn't really matter. You know, I know what's going on in your body. I know what these products are doing. It's not going to hinder me in my progress. So that was really the biggest change for me. And that's when I had that mindset shift. I made the choice to continue on with these products and get off the emotional roller coaster. I think I'm really passionate about that because that's huge in network marketing, especially with women. You know, we can be emotional. And getting off the emotional roller coaster, not letting what other people do or they don't do affect your journey and hinder you. Because it really shouldn't. You know, you have an amazing company, you have amazing products, and amazing leadership. So whether someone else chooses to see that or not, shouldn't affect you. Because what I've learned too is that everybody has their threshold until they feel enough pain or discomfort, and then they need a change. So maybe when you're talking to someone, when I have a customer that says they want to lose weight or says they want to get healthy and they try the products and then quit really soon, that wasn't the products and that wasn't me. That was them. That was their personal choice. That was them maybe not being ready, them not wanting to make a change. That has nothing to do with me. And so letting go of that was huge. And a lot of those people, actually all of those people, all three, it was only 3 in the beginning that really hindered me. They're all part of the company now and take the products. One was exactly 2 years later. The month I hit Emerald, one of my first people that told me no came back. So I think that's the beauty of consistency and longevity in the business, is you get to reap the benefits of people from the past coming back, because they always do. It's hard to realize that sometimes or know that's going to happen, but they always come back. So that's kind of where my story and my mindset shift happened, and just making choices every single day was huge for me. And you know, that I'm not going to be lazy. I'm not going to sit around in the evening and watch Netflix every night because it's a nice mental dump, you know, that I was going to sit down and actually do my IPA, that in the morning I was going to message people instead of scroll through Facebook, making those everyday choices. And I still have to do it. I think we all, at whatever level you are, whether you're diamond or you're gold, you still have to make those choices every single day to move forward in your plan. Because you know, excuses are all equal. We all have excuses. We all can live or sit in those. But it's just that choice. I love one of my favorite sayings is, discipline is the difference between what you want now and what you want most. And that's anything in life, you know, with fitness and health and with business. So being consistent and making those choices, I think, is huge for your own journey. Going into leadership, I was terrified of leadership when someone put a label on it. When someone said, how do you lead your team and you're going to be a leader now? I was like, wait, what? What is that? You know, how do you do that? And it was really, really huge for me reading that 21 Laws of Leadership by John Maxwell. And if you haven't read that yet, you need to. It really lifted a huge weight and burden off of me, and realizing the biggest message from that book is that leadership is being an example to follow more than anything. There are some different skills and different things you figure out along the way, but more than anything, it's being an example. Just like with your children, I use that example a lot. I have an almost 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, and showing them what's right and what's wrong and the right attitude and the right actions to have means so much more than my words, really. It's what I show them on a day-to-day basis, whether I think they're watching or not. So the same with your team, because they see whether you're posting or not. They see whether you've added new team members, or you know, whether you're being consistent in your own business. And you can't tell someone to do something if you're not doing it yourself, right? You have to be the shining light and example. You have to be the positive person who's encouraging them to move forward because you're moving forward. It's okay to stumble and have problems and have issues, because through those is where we learn our lessons and where we teach other people through them. Like me telling you about how I completely stopped working the business for 4 or 5 months, that's a huge part of my story because that's where the growth happened in that valley, right? So it's fine. I say be vulnerable, be open with your team. When they're saying they're upset that someone quit the product, tell them, I know how you feel. That happens to me, and here's how you handle it. So being that example, being passionate and consistent, showing them that. Another huge thing with leadership is showing them momentum and creating momentum on your team, I think is huge. And I guess this goes more into like a skill set with that, but things that I have found is doing challenges, doing customer challenges, doing PV challenges, the 7-day slim challenge. If your team hasn't done one of those yet, definitely find out what that is from your upline and do that. Doing things like that creates momentum, creates a place for your team to plug their people into. So doing Zooms like Cindy does, doing a weekly meeting or a monthly meeting. If your team's all over the country, do a Zoom meeting like this. Don't fear it. Just know, what, guys, we're going to do this together. This is my first one, and this is going to be fun. And you get better and better and better as you go along. But creating that momentum for your team. You're kind of in charge of starting the race and letting them run behind you. If you're going slow, they're going to go slow, unfortunately. You set the pace. Equipping them and letting them step into their leadership. This was another huge thing for me. I kind of had this, and it was my own insecurity, and I'm going to be completely vulnerable with you guys, trying to be a good example of it. I had a hang up to where I wanted to be needed all the time. If I had a hard time letting my people answer the questions for their downline or, letting them lead things in the group because I felt like if I wasn't needed and someone else was doing what my leadership job was, I felt like I lost value, that I wasn't as important, that I wanted everybody to need me. When we were reading that 21 Laws of Leadership with my team, it was actually one of my good friends who said, there's a chapter on that. She said, Amber, this is kind of you. You like to do everything yourself. And of course I got defensive at first. And then I said, you know what? You're right. I really do. I want to be the head in our group. And learning to let that go and that was a problem, that was an insecurity in my part, and being able to equip my team and say, you know what, just like with our kids, we want them to do better than us. I always did want my team to do better than me, but I never let them take that position. So saying, you know what, you're going to lead our weekly Zoom. Can you do the call this week? Sharing that with some of your leaders. Making them feel empowered. Just like with your own children, when you give them kind of a special job that you always do, and listen, you're going to be in charge of feeding the dog. That kind of thing. That makes them feel big. That makes them feel older. Same thing with your team. When you tell them, when you pass the torch, you're in charge of Motivation Monday and finding a great thing to motivate our team every week, or Testimony Tuesday, whatever you do in your group, that makes them feel important, like they have something to offer. And that also shows their downline, your person's downline, that they're moving forward, that they're leading. So letting them do that and finding ways to fit that in is really important. Cindy, I don't feel like I'm just kind of like talking too much.
No. Keep going. We love it.
Okay. The other thing I've found is some people get discouraged. So let's say you're gold, or even if you're senior gold, I have a few on my team that they're discouraged by the lack of momentum in their team or the lack of work that their team is doing. And I kind of wanted to address that too, because I see that a lot, especially in golds. Because maybe you got to gold and you're okay, I'm gold now. I've got my team and now we're going to race ahead. Well, kind of being honest with yourself. Maybe you have those 20 team members, but maybe there's only 3 workers in there. So really you've got a team of 3 that you're going to run with and work with. So don't kind of let the pressure off yourself for people that aren't coming along with you, because it's easier to run with the right people than drag people who don't want to move. And I just talked to a girl yesterday. She has this one person that has amazing potential. and she's been on her team for a year and a half now, but the woman doesn't do anything. You know, she has the most amazing potential, but she also has the most excuses. Well, I told the girl, I was like, you need to let that go. Keep checking in with her, but let that emotional frustration that you have with this person go, and look out and go find more people. Find people that do want it. Find people that do want to run. Even though you have that person sitting there, they're just not ready. Maybe they'll be ready later. Maybe they never will. You need to go out and find your runners. And so I think that's really huge. The biggest difference between a diamond ambassador and a newbie or a gold, or, you know, the only difference is that we have more people that are excited about Plexus in the business. That's it, which should be really freeing and really, you know, hopefully freeing to you guys, and that's all you need. You know, it's not that I have any special skill set. It's not that, you know, there's any talents that I have that you don't have. I just have more excited people. Mm-hmm. And so go out and find those people. You know, you might feel like you have gold and I already found my people, but maybe you didn't. Maybe you need to go find different ones. You know, keep recruiting, keep looking for them everywhere you go, because there are those ones who want it as bad as you or worse than you. Mm-hmm. You just need to find them. And you get better at it as you go along. I talked to a woman a couple months ago at the mall. I'm always handing out my business card, or I'm always trying to start conversations and friend people on Facebook and share what I have. And I talked to this one woman, and right away she was like, what is this? You know, I want this. What is this? I came in a week later with another friend of mine, and we were shopping there, and she said, all right, I looked up that stuff. I want this. I need this. And after meeting with her, she said, that she was searching so badly for something like this, and people would come in with businesses all the time to her because she's an amazing sales lady. She just radiates everything that a good salesperson should in a very genuine way. So people see her and want her all the time on their teams. And she said nothing felt like the right fit, but this did. And I was shocked at how easy it was when you find the right person. And they're just, all right, I'm all in. You know, so is it worth it to be for a year to search for that right person until you get someone? Amen. It's worth it. You know, it is incredibly worth it. So don't get discouraged if you haven't found that person yet, that they are out there. You just need to talk to more people. But, well, Cindy, did you want me to keep going? That's kind of covering all my notes here.
I love it. Would you mind taking a few questions?
Sure.
We could do a little question and answer time right now. Sometimes I like to do this at the end if we have a little extra time. So any person that would like to ask a question to Amber, just unmute yourself and go right ahead. Maureen.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
Okay, I know Amber and her background, and I think this is a perfect question to ask you, Amber. Megan had a real lashing out last night to her with, you know, really bad words in between, you know, saying basically, you know, all the bad things, and saying, don't ever talk to me about this again. It's way beyond Plexus for me. Okay, they said that. It hit her really hard. She was crying, and she's going, I wonder if anyone else has ever gone through this, because I feel completely defeated. It was someone she's known for a while, and for them to be that rough with her, she was really excited. She is excited. She's moving forward in her business, and she just wanted to help this person. So how would you respond to someone that was that mean to you? I mean, it's more than don't ever talk to me about this again. It included a whole bunch of bad words. So
I'd probably, I mean, obviously that's not someone that you're going to have a reasonable conversation with back and forth. So I would probably just say, I'm sorry that, you know, if I offended you, thank you for your time. You know, like, leave it very leave it at that. I wouldn't address all the anger or the bad words coming out, because she knows that all of that is some other issue. That's nothing about her. That just drew something out of that person. you know, whether it's an insecurity or an anger or fear, whatever it is, maybe they're upset at themselves because of her success, you know, it's all on them. That has nothing to do with her. So I would just tell her to, as quickly as possible, close that book and, you know, move on from that person, and just pray for them, because there's obviously some huge issue on their part, but that rarely happens. You know, we get the person that might get defensive and tell us why we're wrong, or they like to be the know-it-all in health, or, you know, that kind of thing. But it's rare that someone's going to chew you out and, you know, cuss you out, that type of thing.
Okay.
So that's just obviously their issue.
They have issues.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I told her it wouldn't be a very good team member either.
No.
I would just tell her, thankfully, they weren't interested. You know, sometimes there's a huge blessing in the people we don't get.
So you would probably take a little walk emotionally,
Yeah.
off, and then move on.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, I know we don't want to compare Plexus to telling the gospel or something, but there's sometimes when you'll tell someone, you know, we used to do that sidewalk counseling on the street, and they will chew you out and cuss you out and threaten to call the police on you. That's nothing you have to say. What you have to say is right. You know, that's just where they're coming from and what they know and what's manifesting out of them, you know, and you just have to brush off and move along and not let that hinder you from telling the next person. So, yeah.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Anybody else have a question for Amber?
I have a question. So you're talking about, say you have a team of 20, your goals, but you only have 3 people who are working the business. How often are you connecting with them, and what are you doing with those people who are ready to run with it?
I stay in constant communication. Open up a chat group. If you don't already have a Facebook group you're using, open up a message group and put you all in it. You know, maybe have them, if they don't know each other, have them introduce themselves right away. You know, we all want the same thing. I know we're all excited about our dreams and our goals. Please share your name, where you're from, and your goals in here. And we are all going to work together to get to the top together and make like a team camaraderie type thing. You know, when you do things in a team, there's this friendly competition. There's this seeing other people do it, and you know, if you're slacking off, it makes you motivated to keep doing it. So trying to bind them together as much as possible, and maybe do one of those 7-day challenges, or do a Zoom event together, you know, and say, let's have a little competition. Whoever can get the most prospects on our Zoom event tonight, you know, wins, you know, that kind of thing, and creating that fun, motivating.
Okay. Sorry.
No. That's what I would do, you know.
Okay.
Make your little sorority almost.
Well, then what about, like, do you do one-on-one time, or is it more the team stuff then, once they're...
Well, definitely do one-on-one. What I usually do if I have someone that's really serious and wanting to work the business is, for the first, you know, couple months or however long it lasts, naturally, every week I'll have a phone call scheduled. So like one lady every Thursday at 10 in the morning, we talk, and she knows to have her questions written down. And just, you know, she'll share what she's going on, because you want to create that relationship, because relationships are what keep people going really in this. Because when someone's discouraged, but if they have a good relationship with you and they know that you really care about them because you've been investing time in them from the very beginning, you're going to be able to keep them going. So definitely doing a weekly call, either with all of them or one-on-one, whatever seems appropriate to you, and then creating that team environment. So that when they get somebody that's really interested, really active, they now know what to do. Okay, I'm going to do a weekly call with them. I'm going to plug them into our little Plexus club here, you know, and they're part of our group. You really want to make people feel part of something larger than themselves.
That's good. That's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm going to mute myself.
Time for probably one more question if somebody has one. And if not, I was going to ask Amber to maybe share with us, for those of you that don't really know you and your husband's history before Plexus came, and now maybe a little bit of your business, like what's happened and what you've done and your husband and different stuff like that, to end it off.
Yeah, first of all, I'm sorry about this horrible lighting. I don't know why it looks like
it looks cool. It looks really cool.
I'm very mysterious over here. My husband he's 24. He's a little younger than me. And we have 2 children, like I said, a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. And before Plexus, I was a stay-at-home mom. You know, we both married young. And he ran a full concrete business with 4 to 5 employees, working 5 to 6 days a week. He was really successful and did really well, but he was never home because concrete's really demanding. You know, he was out till midnight, or he was left the house at 4:30 in the morning, and we didn't really see him. And my dad, just a little backstory, my dad worked from home. And so when I got married, for some whatever naive reason, I completely expected that to be the same, for him to be around all the time, you know, for us to have lunch together with my husband, that kind of thing, like my dad was. And thrown into this world of he's gone all the time, and I have learned now that most husbands are gone all the time, you know, working day to day. So I really wanted, my biggest goal and our goal together was for him to be able to get out of concrete and find something else. We didn't know how that was going to happen. We knew we were going to have to save a lot of money to where he could get into something where he was actually his own boss, because even though he owned the company, he was still, he still had customers that he was responsible to, and the weather, that kind of thing. But with Plexus, the reason I started is I had sold chicken eggs. Maureen will remember that. I used to make jewelry and sell at craft fairs. I baked goods. I took my 4-month-old baby into a bakery every morning and baked goods. I cooked for the wealthier neighbors around. I did so much stuff because I was trying to earn a little bit of guilt-free money. Because Justin worked so hard, I felt bad about spending his money on shopping. And my mom has raised me to be a shopper, a little addicted. So I wanted that guilt-free money. So when Plexus came along and someone told me I could make a couple $100, I was like, sure, you know, this is awesome. It's better than waking up at 4 a.m. to go bake in the bakery. And as the checks got bigger and bigger, and as we realized what we had, our dreams grew. So then it got to be, I want to make X amount of money so he doesn't have to work that extra day. Or, I remember buying him a really expensive gift for his birthday, and that was huge and super exciting. And then it got to be now where he's completely retired. Last month he shut down his business, he liquidated everything, and he's completely out of that. And now we're getting into rental properties and house flipping with his skill set. It's perfect for us. We're able to create different revenue incomes through rental properties, which we're really excited about. And travel. We bought a huge motorhome, and our kids love to travel. And we've gone to different states, and that's really fun. He wants to become a hobby hunter, like a sponsored hunter. He loves hunting, and being able for him to go out and hunt all the time and spend all this time working on his skills that he loves is so exciting for us. And just so rewarding.
What about your house?
Oh gosh, yeah. Our house is going to be done next month. We built a 4,000 square foot house on 25 acres, almost completely with cash, and the rest of it will be paid off in just a few months. So that was pretty amazing.
That's amazing, Amber. That is just so hopeful for all of us, and to think, I want them to believe that this can happen to them.
Yes.
Because it's so easy to hear this from you and go, oh, I'm so happy for Amber, and she's amazing. I could never do that. And we have to change that mindset. I've had a big talk yesterday with my team, a lot of them, that change that this can be you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I never would have thought. And if anybody knew me before, like Maureen could attest to it, I wasn't shy. I loved people, but I didn't have that confidence. I didn't have any confidence. She was just saying, I threw up before doing events, like literally. I remember. Falling. Yeah, my mom tricked me into doing one. I remember. So there is hope for everybody. It's that choice. It's just choose your hard. It's either going to be hard to have to push yourself out of your comfort zone, or it's going to be hard to be in debt or have your husband working consistently and never seeing you and the kids. You choose your hard. But yeah.
I love that. That is the perfect ending for this call. Choose your hard. Okay, so all of us today, like, write that phrase out and post it on your refrigerator for everybody to see. And let's just thank Amber, all of us here, for doing this for us today. We learned so much. It was amazing, and I loved it. And I recorded this for everybody. So those of you that have golds and above that weren't able to be on this Zoom, let them know. It will be in our Jewel from Our Jewels Facebook page. And so we just want to thank you, Amber, for doing this for us today.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you, Amber.
She's frozen on my screen.
I think she's
Thank you, Amber.
Yay. Okay, we'll see you guys next Thursday. We have Sarah Howell. Sarah Howell will be our speaker.
Yes, can't wait. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye.